Contrary to popular belief, I was the most insecure person to ever step foot on this earth for my entire life. It doesn't seem like it, but I just put on a really good act. I put on a really good mask. I do things that exude confidence, but I don't actually feel it inside. I really was the most insecure person literally ever. Like, I literally could not go to the store in public. Like, I literally could not walk out in public because I was so ashamed of who I was at my core. Like, I did not ever want to meet people. I couldn't get close to people because I hated myself so much. Like, I am the queen of self-hatred. Like, I don't know of anyone that hated themselves as much as I hated me. Looking in the mirror every single day was painful. I didn't want to go to work because I hated what I looked like. I hated who I was at my core. I couldn't talk to people. Like, I'm not kidding. I had no social skills. Like, I was zero. Like, I was mute. I couldn't even have like a basic conversation without like literally thinking, oh my God, what are they thinking of me? Am I saying the right thing? Is this like what I should say? Are they offended what I'm thinking? I just want to give a lot of background of how I felt before who I am today so you can really understand like the extent of how bad I was suffering. Confidence comes from self-love. You have self-esteem, self-love, self-confidence. They're all three, and you have to build on each one in order to get to the top and feel that confident feeling of doing and saying whatever you want without having impending doom, anxiety, and depression, you know, literally. If we start from the beginning, where my confidence started to fall through the cracks, when did I start losing my magic, literally? So confidence starts at the very beginning of childhood when you start learning how to interact with the people who are taking care of you. That can build your confidence really high, and that can also really decrease your confidence based on your relationship with your parents. If you tried something new when you were younger and your parent tried to shame you for it, make you feel bad, or like, oh my God, you messed up, like you're making a mess, like this is so annoying. Like if they try to shame you or put you down for anything that happened, like you're going to ingrain that and take that with you to school when you go to kindergarten and stuff like that. The way that your parents interacted with you, the way that your parents disciplined you, all of that is going to dictate how confident you are and how much you love yourself. If you don't have love in the home, you're not going to have love moving forward. People picked on me in school all the time because obviously I'm one of the most eccentric people I've ever met. People have always felt very estranged by me. People would be coming at me like with all this negative energy, trying to like literally like clown on me or like make fun of me, and I just like didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I didn't know what to say. I had no backbone. I was just like literally posted up there being 5, like what? Things kind of like simmered down like middle school, and then people still liked to pick on me. This warped my sense of myself entirely. It was really intense, to be honest. I didn't like going to school. I had horrible anxiety. I would fake sick every single day. I was so scared of not belonging. I became a different person. I became an entirely different character in order to like fit in with society's norms. So by the time I got to high school, I was a raging monster. I literally, first of all, the most insecure person literally ever. That's why I was literally as orange as the sun. I was covering every part of my being with as much as I could. I had lashes thicker than you could imagine because like I hated who I was so much. I needed to build up not only a physical mask, but a mental mask. The way that I acted, who I talked to, every single thing I did was all coming from fear of like, I want to be accepted so bad, I'll do anything. I was gonna do anything to be like everyone else. And it destroyed me. Like I could cry about it. It literally destroyed me. I always was just thinking there was something wrong with me forever. Like what's wrong with me? What do I need to fix next? How can I be better? And I could never live a good life because I had no love for myself. I absolutely hated myself to the most intense degree. Now I'm the most confident person I know. I don't know anyone that loves themselves as much as me, and not in a narcissistic way. I hate that people think that this is narcissistic. I was a narcissist. I know what it's like to be obsessed with yourself from a place of lack. I was obsessed with myself because what you obsess over is what you need to heal. I was obsessing over what I looked like in myself and just being in front of everyone all the time, but not from the place of love. It was the place of fear because I felt like if I wasn't accepted physically or for my personality, then I was nothing and I don't deserve to live. And that's a really scary place to be in. Obviously, you do things that you regret. You make crazy decisions because you're just looking for validation. And I'm finally at the point where I'm not in that mentality. So this is what I figured out. These are the laws you have to lay down in order to love yourself, in order to not be mentally ill, in order to be sober and be happy and be free. Let's start with self-love. You have to have that. Self-love is taking care of yourself. It's your big necessities that you need to carry on throughout your life. Loving yourself means talking nicely to yourself, taking care of yourself, feeding yourself correctly, exercising, doing things for your body. Every single thing that you could think of that you would take care of your own kid or a child What would you do for them? How would you teach them? You have to start doing that to yourself. I knew this a long time ago. Did I embody it? No. I just kept being mean to myself. I kept being hard on myself because I thought if you're not hard on yourself, you're not going to accomplish anything, which is the exact opposite. You need to talk to yourself like you're a literal ladybug. Once you solve self-love and you can get into the routine of just being there for yourself, being nice to yourself, being compassionate with yourself, self-love in and of itself is what you have to master first. After you master self-love, you go into self-esteem. You start feeling better about yourself. Your self-esteem starts growing because you're watching how you're loving yourself and how the love you're showing towards yourself is actually growing you into a better person. Self-esteem is what you need to go after the things you want, to realize that you're enough, to realize that you're not like a terrible, gross person and all the things that people projected onto you in the past, you know? After you have your self-love and self-esteem, you'll move into self-confidence, because self-confidence is the commitment you show to yourself. If you say that you're gonna do something, are you gonna follow through? It's that commitment, it's that reassurance, it's the knowing that you are who you say you are. You have what it is to take to do whatever it is that you want, and you have no doubts or fear. That is the full embodiment of self-confidence. You have to have those 3 steps built up. So start from the beginning. Where's the day one? What's the first step? Your life will completely change. It's crazy what self-love does for someone. Like, it's drugs, like literally. You don't need anything but yourself. Like, I literally woke up today in the best mood and I have nothing in front of me. It's just me in the world. I don't have anything. And I never thought I would get to this point. I never thought I could just be peaceful because I had so much fear and hatred inside of me. Something that was hard for me to purge about my beliefs and how much I hated myself was if all of these people, if everyone I've met in my whole life have come up to me and said, oh God, I've never met anyone like you, or oh my God, you're definitely different. You know, people have had their comments for sure. And so when the whole world is telling you who you are, and their perception of you is one way, how are you supposed to change something like that? That was the hardest thing for me. Everyone views me in this way, and I was just like, I don't feel like that's who I am though. Like, why can't other people see what I see? Do you know Ariana Grande's song POV? Oh my God, it's so great. No waterworks today, no sir. POV by Ariana Grande was my top on like my 2021 replay because like I just wanted the world to see me from my point of view. That's all I wanted. Like, it would never be enough. No matter how many people accepted me, it'd never be enough if I didn't accept me. And so since the world rejected me, I rejected me. And it was all just a mess. So you have to kill the version of yourself that you hate, but not the version that you hate, the version that's doing the hating. Do you get what I'm saying? Kill the hater, because that's what's gonna set you free. It's what's gonna make you not have anxiety. It's what's gonna allow you to flourish and blossom into like the most beautiful flower you can imagine, because you have no more worries. I don't even like drinking, but I would get drunk just so I could like act like myself, which is like horrible. The things that I did to just be able to be free from the fear I felt inside was insane. My whole life I've been searching for freedom. I want freedom so bad, but I was the one restricting myself from my freedom because I was full of so much fear. I was living so small inside my brain, afraid to do anything because of all of the projections that everyone put on me. I was afraid to literally open my mouth and go out in public. That is not a life to live. That is depression. Once you can embody the concept that everyone is just operating from their projections, you realize there's nothing to fear but yourself. You are your biggest enemy. You are the one keeping yourself stuck. And you can blame your external, you can blame people, you can blame your circumstance, but it's actually not that. It's your perception of that. If you've had a pretty okay life and your confidence isn't really great or it's not really terrible, you're just going to kind of stay in this middle frequency of being content. You're never going to reach the highs or the lows. A lot of times people don't have incentive to actually change because they're not suffering enough to make that change. It's easier said than done, obviously, but it's literally so worth it. And that is why I'm like so compelled to share with everyone, because my life will literally mean nothing if I didn't help someone do what I did, you know? Like, there's so many people that die and stuff like every single year, and I just would never want someone to like take their own life because like there's a way out mentally. Like, you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to live stuck. I've studied so many practices and belief systems, and I've realized that like at the end of the day, after every single thing I've searched into, I looked into the hieroglyphic tablets in ancient Egypt. Like, I've done the most research anyone can imagine on all the things in the world. And it all just comes down to loving yourself. It's really that simple. I didn't have to look into all these external sources to find the answer. The answer is within, and the answer is you. Like, the answer will always be you. You have to be nice to yourself. You have to be who you wanted as a kid. Become the version of yourself that you needed growing up. You're gonna become your own superhero, and it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever been through. Gas yourself up. Listen to some music that makes you feel confident. You have to embody that energy or you will suffer forever. At the end of the day, we don't have that much time on earth. We really don't know how long we're gonna have. We could die tomorrow. Yet we're sitting here today suffering. Like, you have to live every day like it's your last. You have to live every single day as free as you can, because literally we don't know how much time we have here. You don't know the impact you could make. Like, you have to spread love and joy while you're here. I've been running my entire life from who I really am. I was trying to find validation in everything but me. Love yourself and never let anyone make you feel bad about prioritizing yourself, ever.